You can listen to this practice wherever it is that you find yourself today. You can be sitting down, you can be laying down, you can even be stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully, wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would prefer to listen to this while being in a still position, you can just let now be the time where you let yourself fidget, adjust, stretch, or move your body in whatever ways your body wants to move. As you do your best to really not think about these movements at all or worry about what anything looks like, but you really come into your sense of feeling and let your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good. Exploring your range of motion, where your limits are today, what movements feel particularly good, what movements don't feel particularly good, and just following any yummy sensations you feel while rolling out the neck, the shoulders, maybe some cat-cow motions with the spine as you just open and close the chest and the heart space. You can even place your hands on your shoulders and draw some circles with your elbows, going forward, going backwards. It can feel really nice. Just feeling any kinks or creaks. And there's no rush whatsoever. You can keep moving and stretching for as long as you need to, even throughout this whole practice if you need to. But if you would prefer to listen to this while being in a still position, then you may make your way there if you haven't already. Just checking in that your spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. Maybe even drawing a line down the center of your body, from the pubic bone up through the navel, through the breastbone, the center of the throat, center of the chin, the nose, the third eye, all the way up through the crown of the head. And feeling rooted down through your seat, feeling heavy in the sit bones, letting yourself be supported by the surface that is beneath you, while simultaneously feeling light and lifted in the head and the upper body. And just letting yourself be as big, as wide, as heavy as you are. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow your eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you take this moment now to mark your arrival into your practice today and mark your arrival into your body today with a full and intentional cleansing breath. As you call in fresh new air into the body, filling up to every corner and edge of you, getting as full as you can as you hold that for a moment when you are full, to experience what it feels like to be full of air right now, as you slowly let all of that go whenever you need to. As you gently pull the navel in toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to push any last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment here, as you now stay and experience this sense of emptiness in the body, and allowing your next breath to come in as it's needed. And you may continue to breathe in this slow, intentional, exaggerated way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you. Just knowing that there is no need to worry about the actual length of your inhales, of your exhales, and those pauses on either side. But we are simply letting each part of your breath, each of the 4 parts of the breath, be exaggerated. Whatever that means for you right now. So when your body would naturally stop inhaling, just becoming curious if you can take in one more sip of air, if you can expand your belly or the back of your ribs one more bit to just take in another sip of air, get even fuller. And then when you naturally start to exhale, seeing if you can hold off on that for one more moment. And then as you exhale, even once you think you're empty, just seeing if there's any more air you can push out of you and stay in that emptiness for a moment longer than you might normally. As this is what communicates to our body, to our nervous system and our cells, that now is a time to slow down. Communicating that now is a time to expand and a time to release. And again, there's no rush whatsoever. And you can continue to breathe in this slow, exaggerated, and intentional way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you. But at any point, if you haven't already, you may release this guidance over your breath altogether. As you let yourself step back and up in your mind and into the role of the observer or the role of the witness. Into that perspective where you are no longer guiding or controlling the rhythm or depth of your breath, but you are now simply watching as your own body breathes you. Remembering that your body and your own breath is a force of nature, just like any other force of nature. And you are capable of witnessing yourself with that same energy that you have when you witness all other forces of nature. Maybe imagining how you feel when you lay on the beach and watch the waves as they roll up along the shoreline. Never trying to change anything about the size or the speed of the waves, but simply watching as each one comes and goes, naturally as they always will. Or maybe witnessing yourself as more of a storm in a force of nature that is a storm. When you are looking out the window and there's rain and wind whipping all around. Maybe that's what it feels like to witness yourself right now. Maybe there's a lot of mental activity or internal storms. And just know that you are capable of witnessing those as well. You do not have to feel good or in a particular way in order to witness yourself, in order to observe yourself. This practice is not about only feeling good, positive and light things all of the time. This practice is about showing up and witnessing yourself, the world around you, exactly as it already is, which will always be a unique combination of things that we call negative and bad, and things that we call positive and good. And so just allow yourself to be whatever unique mixture of things you are already right now, knowing that it will always change. And just take a moment to notice any expression that might be resting on the face. And notice any emotions that might be communicated by these resting expressions. Maybe with the brow tense or furrowed. Maybe the jaw. Maybe the jaw is holding on to some lingering tension. So you can just let now be a time where you simply allow all of the muscles in the face to ungrip from the bones. Just imagining all of the tiny muscles that exist in the face that have created every single expression you've ever made. And feeling all of those muscles as they release back into the support of your own skin. And feeling all of these muscles in your face ungrip from the bones. Allowing any expression to melt away as you allow yourself to be exactly as you already are. And feeling your shoulders relaxing down away from the ears. And all of the muscles across the whole body to feel like they're almost rolling off of the bones. As you trust your own anatomy, as you trust the earth that is beneath you and the force of gravity all around you. Knowing that when you fully let go, even in your deepest state of sleep, you are never crushed and you never float away, but the earth and gravity and your skin always hold you, hug you in this exact place that you are meant to be. And the fact that you are here is the proof that you are meant to be here. And it is okay if you are not feeling good, whole, happy, or bright, or positive right now. You do not need to force yourself to feel anything that you are not feeling. And a very helpful analogy for this is one that comes from the practice of Hellenistic astrology, where the moon represents our physical body and the sun represents our own soul. And so just like the moon, our physical bodies, our bones, muscles, joints, and everything in between is simply matter. Our bodies are brought to life. They are animated or lit up by our soul that enters our body when we're created and leaves our body when we're done. That soul, at some times, it will fully illuminate our body. Just like at times the sun fully illuminates the moon. And the moon, when it is full, it is bright, it is whole, it's reflecting all of the light from the sun, and it shines that light, it reflects that light, shows it to everyone in darkness. And other times, that exact same moon that was once so bright and whole is in the shadows and in a phase called the new moon, where it's not reflecting any light whatsoever, but it is still there. And the moon will always move through these phases. And just like the moon, we will also move through these phases. And just like the moon, we are not meant to be full all of the time. We are not meant to be bright, whole, full moons all of the time. And just like the moon, we will be in darkness sometimes. We will be in the shadows. We will feel disconnected from our souls, from light. But that does not mean that there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you've done anything wrong. And it does not mean that you are going to be in darkness forever. It simply means that this is the phase that you are in right now. And we never look up at a new moon and blame it for being in the shadows, or assume it's done something wrong to deserve to be in the shadows. And so we do not need to blame ourselves or others when we experience darkness or when we witness darkness. We can remember that this is simply another phase of life that all of us move through and that none of us are meant to escape. And any expectations that we put on ourselves to be full all of the time, those expectations in and of themselves can be the greatest source of our suffering, or a very heavy layer of our suffering that is in our control. You do have the option to allow yourself to be in darkness if that's where you are. You don't have to make yourself feel worse when you are already feeling bad. But you are allowed to comfort yourself and do whatever it is that you need to do to make it to the next phase, to make it to the next day, the next hour, the next moment, if that's how bad things are. And trust that the only thing we can all count on is that everything changes, especially how we feel. So you can soak up all of the light if you feel full and bright and whole right now, and truly make the most of those times when you are feeling good. And you are also allowed to comfort yourself however you need to if you are in darkness and need that extra rest and support. Or any phase in between those two extremes. So you can continue to feel all that is here for you to feel. And continue to soften your body into all it is that you are feeling as you listen to the following words that were written by young Pueblo in his most recent newsletter, which you can sign up for on his website. It is entitled, "The Problem with Always Trying to Feel Good." Letting yourself feel a wide range of emotions, including the heavy ones, helps you engage with more of what it means to be human. When you deeply understand that change is the dominant law of the universe, it makes any attempt to only feel one way or to try to forcibly keep things the same seem like a futile endeavor. If the forward motion of the universe is driven by change, then that means that change will always be a part of our lives, whether we like it or not, and that includes our emotions. All human beings have the ability to feel, and we all experience a wide variety of emotions, because everything outside of our actions is beyond your control. The unknowns of life will make it so that each moment will carry a unique quality. Your perception and your reaction to each distinct moment will vary as you move through life. This undeniable truth of change reveals that the attachment to always trying to feel good is something that will cause inner tension. The craving to feel pleasant makes you have a strong preference for some emotions over others. It makes you seek solutions and quick fixes that can help you experience a smaller range of emotions than what is normal. We welcome and try to hold on to the pleasant, and we strive to fight away the unpleasant. Because the craving to only feel good things is so strong, it creates an internal dynamic where you end up suppressing the things you don't want to feel. Pushing away or ignoring heavy emotions that are asking for your attention does not solve anything. It actually just feeds the pattern, deepens the reaction, and makes it more likely you'll feel that same emotion in the future. The emotions you ignore have the tendency to grow, whereas the emotions that you let yourself feel have the opportunity to move through you and not leave a heavy mark. When you react to what you feel, you are creating a big imprint in your subconscious, suppressing.
Take care of my girl. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Hey, Ruthie, babe.
So sorry, my dad's leaving for jury duty. We now have 3 dogs in the apartment. Getting back to it. When you react to what you feel, you are creating a big imprint on your subconscious. Suppressing and ignoring are reactions that reveal how attached you are to only feeling things that are pleasant. Wisdom teaches that to expand our awareness of what we feel is the gateway to peace. Peace does not mean only feeling good. It means that you are no longer at war with your own emotions, that you can accept what is happening within you. Sadness, anxiety, grief, loss, fear, and all other heavy emotions are a normal part of life. Trying to erase them is unrealistic. Instead, your energy is better spent feeling them in a balanced manner, knowing that there is something in them for you to learn, to process, and then to eventually let go. Letting yourself feel the heavy things is not the same as getting stuck in them. Being okay with not being okay is a skill that helps you not get dragged down by challenges. One of the most useful qualities that anyone can develop is mere acceptance, because then you can face things that are unpleasant without running away. Facing what you don't like does not mean that you are passive. It just means you're practicing honesty. Objectively, you can witness the moment, recognize that it is undesirable, and still meet the situation with a sense of balance. Letting yourself feel a wide range of emotions, including heavy ones, helps you engage with more of what it means to be human. Letting yourself feel the highs and lows of life helps you see that the pleasant things can be enjoyable without having to crave for them endlessly, and that unpleasant things are more tolerable because they simply don't last forever. Inner peace often gets confused with eternal bliss, but really it is just objective awareness. You feel what is happening within you, the light and the heavy, but you don't attach yourself to anything. You let emotions flow through you. Inner peace is the ability to honor the truth of heavy emotions without throwing more fuel onto them and making them worse. The key is to feel all emotions with open hands, as opposed to hands that refuse to let go. Seeing yourself through the wisdom that everything is always changing can help you befriend all of the emotions that pass through you. You can just take the next few moments now to really allow each and every word that you've heard today and each and every feeling that you felt today to settle within you. Imagining that your body is this big snow globe. Imagining that every word you have heard and every feeling you felt is just a little speck of glitter within this big snow globe of your own body. And now is the time where we set you down, let the glitter settle to the bottom as the air clears. So you just trust that anything at all that you heard today or felt today that really resonated with you or struck a chord with you in some way, just trusting that that feeling can sometimes come when we hear on the outside what a part of ourselves already knows to be true on the inside. And so simply allowing these deep truths to be enhanced within you so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition and to trust your own instincts. Trusting on a deep level that you are exactly where you're meant to be, and you are already on your way to exactly where you want to be. So if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can let your hands find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you feel this contact of your palms and fingertips to one another, and you lift your heart toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. As you tune in for a moment now to the rhythm of your own heartbeat, the steady background beat to your entire existence. And calling in one final deep and full breath of air into the body, filling up to every corner and edge of you, the most you have today. And as you exhale, letting go of anything at all you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. As you take this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights, and may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you, thank you, thank you.